Okay, let's see today. All set up. I put the tripod that I can move freely with my hands and my body, pretty free. I set myself in the shade so I'm a bit visible for you. A bit further away from the house so the kids are not coming again to play outside in front of my nose like the other day. I have plugged in the microphone. Good one. I plugged it in the microphone and I have checked that it recorded. It did. But to listen, I have to unplug. So I have plugged it again, but with a lot of... I was aware that I might plug it wrong, as the other day happened with my nice avatar video, and it was just without the sound. And then now I think there's space on the camera card, so big steps. And what else there was the other day? I think I just deleted it. So now the tryouts I'm making or the startups that I'm stopping, I'm not deleting them directly. So that maybe today we can record it. And then I just sat down and I said, now I'll make the avatar video. But I didn't have the, let's say, the drive, the mood, the motivation, I didn't feel like, yeah, now I'm going to make it. I've meditated, so I have a pretty good space. Okay, so how about you? How are you? Are you ready for a little avatar activity? And I will just let myself go, and maybe I cut some things out, maybe not. And I noticed, and that was also yesterday, I noticed my throat. So I have really something in my throat that I want to say that I'm not saying. That's my concept, at least. And it's funny, like you can hear it. And yesterday I had exactly the same, because I'm making this video I thought I make it for you, to use techniques that I'm using to attract more and decide on your avatar. But I guess the throat thing that I'm noticing now is that I'm telling you something that I have no idea if it works. So I will start with the tapping points that I use to make things go in a more smooth way. So we'll just start with this first tension that I notice. I define it now as a tension, as a sore throat. And I will dive into this a little bit and we'll see where it goes. So I have, even though, this is how it goes with the tapping, I say, even though I have this haze keel and this rochel in my keel, when I start to talk to you about my avatar or your avatar exercise, I think that it may be because I have no fucking idea if this will work. I truly and deeply love and accept myself and these feelings. So even though I have this sore area in my throat, and I can't talk smoothly at the moment because I believe I'm saying things that I'm not aligned with, and I need to say first something else before really going into this avatar exercise. I truly and deeply love and accept myself and this throat. So even though I may be saying things now that I'm missing something out and it's not feeling good in my body, I truly and deeply love and accept myself. This area in my throat. This area in my throat when saying I'm making an exercise for you to do the avatar, because I have no idea how to define my avatar myself. I have no idea. I'm still struggling myself with this avatar. So it's not that I'm going to show you how to attract your avatar or how to go into this space with the avatar. I just like the idea of making an exercise that I think must be powerful to use to define an avatar. But I don't know if it will work. I have no idea if it works. What I do know is the technique that I'm using. It has helped me very much. The basic technique I'm using, this tapping, it has helped me very, very much to attract things that I want in my life. And it works really, really powerful. And it has worked very powerful in different things. So I can, maybe you can notice that if I keep talking, that my throat will maybe get more clear. So I could talk myself into an area where I do have confidence with. And that's, for example, using the same technique. We did it with my partner almost 2 years ago. Very beautiful, that we wanted to go to a new house. And we wanted to define what is this new house and what's happening. So we went to define it and to look how it should be, the number of rooms, the space, the surroundings, and everything what we wanted. Or what she wanted, we put out, and we dived in with this exercise, and we saw the different elements there, and then really it was incredible, not incredible because I've experienced it many more times, but the things just pop up what we needed. But apart from just tapping what I'm doing, I dive inside. So now also with the throat, it might be a barrier now for making this video really in an okay, acceptable way for me. I can go into the throat now. All this throat, this sore area in my throat, this area in my throat. And I could say it's a dark purple, brown, blackish area in my throat. This blackish area in my throat. This blackish area in my throat. This blackish, fearful 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 area in my throat. Like I feel, I inside I came like maybe I'm trying to communicate with a big audience. So there came this fearful area in my throat. Maybe it's about that I'm afraid that things will not work because, and it gets me to, like in the primary school when I was maybe 10 or 11. We had this performance in front of the whole school, all the parents also, and all the other students. You can hear my voice now. Whoa! You see how beautiful it's reacting. It's very, very reacting. But I have to remember that I'm sitting here under an olive tree in Spain at the moment, and I'm not in the Netherlands, in a little city, standing on a theater area, dressed like a sheikh, like a rich sheikh. I like that idea of being a rich sheikh, but I wasn't, and I said a lot of stupid things. I remember I said a lot of stupid things when I was 10 years old, and we did this theater, and we had been practicing it for a very, very long time. It was a theater where I was a rich oil businessman, yeah, from Saudi Arabia or whatever, wherever. And I remember that I had to go out there on the theater and say, at a certain moment, I had to say, "I've been robbed. My suitcases are gone." So, and maybe that wasn't true. I don't remember the contents of this theater. But if you notice, maybe you notice also my throat is getting better. Anyway, so maybe it wasn't even true what this little boy had to say. In the first place, it was a theater. And in the second place, maybe it was also something that he had to say that was a very big lie. It was a very big lie. So maybe, anyway, so this guy, I can imagine myself standing in front. And the third thing, which was very important, and that's maybe where's the connection with this now, that I'm afraid that I go out at a moment that is not the perfect moment to do so. So what happened, I think, in the theater, and I'm not sure if it happened, I think it happened in the real performance, not in the practice. We also had a practice for performance. But I remember that somehow, I don't recall it really, but there's a sensation that and now it's coming back the throat. There's this sensation that I was coming to the performance area, visible for everybody. And I just said the wrong sentences, you know. I just said that I was robbed and my suitcases were gone, but that was not the moment. So I remember also before, I was very nervous, standing there behind the curtains, like, now I'm going, you have to go. So I went, I heard I had to go. And I recognized my daughter in this also, anyway. Had to go, but it was not the moment. I said the wrong thing. It was the moment, but it was not the moment to say those things. So maybe this is also my moment to go out with the avatar video. But I'm worried that I might say the wrong things, yeah. So I dive in now to the theater. My parents are in the audience, and there's a very big audience. The younger ones are in front, the older ones are in the back, and I will just freeze all of them. I can imagine even my grandparents were there. Who knows? Maybe I would have liked that my grandparents are there. So that's the ingredient I will add. I think they were not. So anyway, I'm standing behind the curtain now, and I will go to myself and I will do this on this little boy. I will freeze the teacher that's also nearby. Very friendly, nice teacher. He was amazing. I loved him very much. And sometimes he was tough, but he was nice teacher, playing guitar. Anyway, so he can be playing guitar, I think, instead of standing there telling me what to do. Throat is still there, you see? Throat is again there. You see it comes and goes. So teacher is frozen, can be playing on the guitar. I think that's more comfortable. He can be just making background music. The kids are on the theater, but I have frozen them. And now I go to this little boy and I'll just say, hi there. I came along with you so that you don't have to be, so that you are not alone. And you are very nervous. I will put it on his crown. You're very nervous. You're very nervous to step out in the audience and be seen. You're very nervous to step out in the audience and to be seen. You are so nervous to step out in the audience to be seen. You're so nervous to step out in the audience and to be seen. It's normal to be stepping out in the audience and to be seen. That it's a lot of people are nervous. Yeah, I know you are nervous, but I will tell him also that he one day he will really like to be standing in front of an audience and be talking about things he likes and to share. He likes that very much in the future, so I can show him that he can do that very well. And it brings me to a moment where I was in a big how do you call this fair? A fair on alternative therapies, etc. And then I was standing in front of the audience, also nervous, and I just had to start. And I started, and it went very fine. It was okay. It was big, but it was fine. So I can show him that he can do it, and he can have he's powerful in what he does. He can be doing that. So also the theater, he knows the theater. So, and it's fine. I will, at the moment that he goes out in the audience, I will allow him that first of all he goes out in the audience, and then he will say the wrong things he has to say, but the audience is frozen, and that he can see that nothing happens. Okay. So he goes out in the audience and he just says this, and audience is frozen, everybody's frozen. Important, nobody's laughing, yeah? Okay, so he feels relaxed with this. Now let's practice that he does this in front of, let's see, only his parents, if he can do it at the wrong moment. That's okay. He can do it at the wrong moment. Only his parents. And now a bit bigger audience, if he can do that. More difficult, but he can. That's also what happened. It's just what happened, Nothing happens because he made a mistake. Oh yeah, what happened was that he was halfway the sentence and then they stopped him, I think, even. Okay, so I will allow him to finish the sentence and see what happens before anybody stops him doing so. Just what happens is, okay, he says the wrong sentence and the audience is not reacting that much. So he had more difficulties himself with being called back than by going maybe to there. So let's see again. I will see again the same moment. He can be behind the screen. The teacher is there, and or maybe he was a bit distracted himself, and then he was said that he had to go there. I don't know, but he goes out. Okay. So that's why of course the teacher had to play the guitar, because then he can't call him back. Okay, so he can just be there and he can be creative. Instead of being called back, he just, I've been stolen, my suitcases. Oh no, here they are. For example, he can just invent something, be creative himself instead of being interrupted. Okay, and then he can give it a swing. So maybe that's also why I don't want to do the live videos. I could be called back by the others. It's holding me back a bit. Anyway, so, okay, this feels better. So what kind of audience you like to attract? An audience that doesn't call me back. Yeah, that stimulates me to keep going. I like an audience that stimulates me to keep going. So my grandparents, for example, could be the audience, as I said before. And now I imagine that my grandmother is standing behind the curtain and is just, supporting her. Smiling and happy and just proud. telling the teacher, like, that's how he likes it. Okay, good. Good space, good space. Good throat, good throat. Okay. Can he say, hi audience, you know, I made just a little mistake and that's it. It doesn't even need to say that, but he can go later on the stage and say the same thing, yeah? But was it a lie that his suitcases were stolen? Yeah, there was something with this. There was something with this. I don't remember it was a lie. He had to go out and make a lie. But then what would be my lie with the Avatar story that I started with? My lie with the Avatar story that I started with. What's my lie with the Avatar story that I started with? What's my worry, my fear in my throat? What's my worry, what fear in my throat? The fear is basically that it doesn't work. Yeah. And my other worry that I have is that I haven't defined my avatar myself. So I want to get there, and I want to share already with you, even though I don't know myself if it works and how it works. But I anyway like to share this video. But I can do, instead of making the video, I have an avatar for you that you can use. I can just show what I'm doing and see if it works for me, and I can record it, and then you can maybe use that as for yourself, because I did like it very much what I did. Maybe it was too personal, but it was okay for me. Yeah. Okay, so I feel better space, I think, to make the avatar video now. I can make the avatar video. Super. Oh.